September 2025. In the heart of the Himalayas, the nation of Nepal is pushed to its absolute brink. An ancient culture, now facing a modern crisis of unprecedented scale. A single government decree, intended to silence dissent, instead becomes the spark that ignites a firestorm of revolution, led by a generation who feel they have nothing left to lose. To truly understand this fire, we must listen to the echoes of the past. For centuries, Nepal was a reclusive Hindu kingdom, isolated and ruled by a line of divine monarchs. This ancient, sacred order was violently shattered by a brutal, decade-long civil war that pitted Maoist insurgents against the state, tearing the very fabric of the nation apart. In 2008, Nepal's 240-year-old monarchy was finally abolished. A new federal republic was born, carrying the dreams of millions for lasting peace and widespread prosperity. But that promise was broken. A revolving door of prime ministers, endless political infighting, and staggering corruption scandals became the painful and frustrating new normal. This is the bitter history that Generation Z grew up with. So when the government tried to silence them by banning social media on September 4th, it was a profound insult. It wasn't just an attack on free speech. For a generation that lives online, it was seen as the final betrayal, the one act of oppression that simply could not be tolerated. On September 8th, the digital silence was answered with a roar from the streets. The city of Kathmandu, usually serene, suddenly and violently exploded with unprecedented public fury. Tens of thousands of young people, organized through encrypted apps and sheer will, flooded the capital. The so-called Gen Z protests had officially begun their defiant march. The state's response was not one of negotiation, but of overwhelming and brutal force. The authorities were determined to crush the burgeoning movement before it could grow. They fired tear gas, rubber bullets, and then, horrifically, live ammunition directly into the crowds, turning a peaceful protest into a vicious and bloody urban battlefield. By nightfall on September 9th, with the blood of their friends on the streets, the protesters' grief turned into pure, unadulterated rage. The unthinkable was about to happen. Fueled by this rage, they marched on the heart of government and set fire to the parliament building itself, a shocking symbol of a nation pushed beyond its breaking point. The government crumbled almost overnight. Facing a nation in open revolt and its own capital in flames, Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli announced his immediate resignation. The military was swiftly deployed, imposing a nationwide curfew, but it was too late to save the old regime. The people had spoken with fire, and their voices had been heard. Today, Nepal stands at a precipice, staring into an uncertain future. The protesters' demands are clear: prosecute decades of corruption, and hold the powerful accountable. They demand a new constitution, written by the people, and the foundation of a new Nepal, finally free from the deep-seated rot and systemic decay of the old guard. This is far more than just a protest. It is a generational struggle for the very soul of a nation, born from decades of broken promises and a deep yearning for dignity. The world watches and waits to see if the echoes of this youth-led revolution will build a better future for Nepal, or tragically fade into the silence of history once more. History is not just in the past. It is being written today. If you want to explore more pivotal events that shaped our world, make sure to subscribe to Echoes of Time and click the bell icon so you never miss a story. What other modern revolutions should we cover? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.